you never really know is the Alistar. I love that, actually. One of the classic counter picks into Cannon. Just get to knock him away very easily. The Rel also taken. That is actually very interesting, because I know that it's one of Barrel's comfort picks, but the engage pool is really dwindling. Are we going to get to, like, Gragas? Like, is that where we're heading?
I mean, Elise is still up. You can go for that one if you'd like to. Elise Corki doesn't exactly fill me with joy.
Right.
Lulu? Victor consideration.
Oh, okay, so we're lost picking for Barrel. No, we're not. Okay.
We're just picking Shen for Barrel.
We're They're going to lock Twitch.
Oh, God. Is that what's happening?
Nocturne Twitch?
Yeah, we're Submarine. It's Submarine,
Nocturne Twitch Shen? It's...
Oh, God. And then there's a Corki just there, being a doggo? Like, riding a doggo around?
Obviously, Showmaker's playing Corki. That's the worst part of the whole deal.
Yeah.
That's the part you're not excited about. As the
Zeka Silas, that would be a lot of fun.
That is a lot of AP, though, in the mid-jungle.
It does sort of... It strays away from the let's keep them at range and start poking them down and control. This is just, we're going in.
We're fighting to the death.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
We've turned the corner towards Biffo, is what sort of happened here.
We are in Game 4, Fearless Atlas. Less and less champions are going to be available.
But Renata gets all the way through to the last pick on the blue side. Ashe Renata, notoriously one of the most difficult lanes to play into. Thankfully, lane swaps exist. As a Victor, a consideration here for Showmaker that would put the Corki towards the bottom lane once again.
I do think Victor goes really, like, look at the amount of melee on the enemy team.
Yeah. There's a fair bit of control that you can get done here. And lock it in.
All right, no Twitch. It's just going to be aiming on the Corki.
It's someone from 2022 calling on my phone right now. I'm confused as to why they would while I'm in the middle of work. We'll have to figure that one out a little bit later. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to dive onto the Rift for game number 4. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for what could be the final game in the series. Yeah, Orcs and Chronicler, your predictions are on the line here.
I wanted to actually talk about something valuable, Atlas.
Like the predictions?
No, like anime. Actually, the call from 2022, one of my favorite anime, and I think one of the best animes of all time, actually starts with that.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second as Lucid is... Oh, the handshake. As Lucid, he didn't walk the way I was expecting him to walk, and that's because he's floating.
Yep. And it was fine. Yeah. Spooky Nocturne. It was Spooky Nocturne.
Yep, chooses the right skin as well. That's why he survives.
Steins Gate. I didn't get to, you know.
Oh, yeah, I've been recommended that one about 1 million times.
It is really good. As Barrel, of course, is going to walk in. That is Ashe, so just going to level Ton and run away. It is actually AD for Shiu. Also, Zeus is making use of the much improved Electrocute rune and going for... Electrocute is opposed to what we've been seeing. Now, realistically, you're not really going to get too much value out of Conqueror into Cannon.
It's also lethal tempo on the Cannon as well.
Yeah,
so going for the AD version.
Yeah. Zeka also going for Electrocute. Phase Rush for Showmaker. Outside of that, nothing too crazy here.
Barrel also going for a huge shout-out, a throwback skin as well.
Certain Shen?
It's TPA Shen.
Oh.
Do you remember whose skin that is?
I do not.
I believe it's Stanley's. I think so.
As aiming already cleanses, level 2 rush as expected, won by Viper and Delight. I'm not sure why we're in a position where that was not clear. Well, no, yeah, because you're Corki and Shen into double range, and it's Ashe and Renata. Should definitely be aware, but we didn't see what happened, so maybe they got caught off guard by something, one or the other. Should be able to catch this wave. There's no jungler in the vicinity. And also, as much of a bully lane this is, unless you hit the handshake, the early dive's not great, even if Nidalee would be there.
And I feel like it's kind of beautiful, because to me, it seems like DK opted out of a lane swap just to make sure that she was okay in that top.
They went.
Because like getting him that matchup is...
Well, they've clearly been protecting him in these drafts, right? And with the... We saw also depending on how this series ends, might end up being one of the most impactful plays of the series with the Mbessa. Felt like a real turning point. But that was the first pick, right? And they've just been making sure that he gets even the Gnar, which didn't end up working out, and he didn't have the best game on, was prioritized for him to ensure that he got the counter pick into the Xante as probably a double crab here. Unfortunately, as Nocturne, you are a jungler that wants to rush level 6, but into Italy and into Ashe Renata, you are not getting 2 crabs. So you're just going to have to...
It was optimistic to head towards the topside crab just in general.
I think he's just going to do a second rotation, and I wouldn't really mind it. I think so much of the early damage that you get so much free AD of your Q as well as your passive.
Yep.
So I can just go into a second rotation, then back, and then maybe look towards the grubs, because you should have topside prio, as we see Shiu already doing a good job here. And I actually really like this from HANWHA Life. Just go for this response. DK do not seem to be aware that this is happening just yet, and Aiming does not have TP, unlike the Varus game. So we're going to see Shiu see this, and then he will be able to back and run towards bot lane. But yeah, I think this is a good call, because Barrel's already rotating up.
You just have a different duo lane.
Yes, because he's AD cannon anyway.
Yeah.
The problem is he is AD cannon, and which is good into Aatrox, but for many reasons not that fun to play into Ashe Renata. But I don't think they've spotted Barrel.
And AD cannon was actually a thing in the bottom lane as well. His attack range was reduced. And Ashe notoriously has a pretty good attack range. And so it's pretty difficult to play this one. Yeah, not to mention the volley existing. This will be a tough time, as that cannon is not likely to be picked up. As now Zeka finds a great combo, as Aiming is just going to get pulled back and has to flash. That Infernal Chain, that's a big deal. Needing to use both the cleanse and the flash to escape that one. DK well and truly on the back foot. It seemed like it was just good rotations and handling of the map by HLE. This is some real leads that they're picking up now.
HLE is just playing the bully role very, very well, right? Which you love to see as, oh, I like this, actually. So you swap Aiming back, he gets the lane in the top side 2v2, and you don't miss out on too much because Shiu TPs to the wave and is back in the matchup where he wants to be. Now, Zeus can just watch him catch this wave, and then they crash here, and then they can rotate it through.
Yep. Also, he's on a back advantage.
Yeah, it's still going to be better for HANWHA. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think it's a nice response, though. But as you're saying, Shiu hasn't actually backed. This whole wave is still going to get lost. And kind of makes you wonder whether DK shouldn't have lane swapped from the beginning, but I think a lot of this comes down to play. Yeah. Plus Viper and Delight actually doing a good job, and Aiming really not having a great start thus far, right? Like the clan's getting forced level 1, and then also getting bullied out by Aatrox.
And it's a 500 gold lead, even more than that with the plates coming on in and double the CS. And Zeus is looking to just dive. He has level 6, Zeka moving on in as well. As yeah, the Drake goes down, but that's not going to be enough as Aiming. Remember, no flash, no cleanse, no way out as Beryl is doing his best to try and block, and it works! As the rockets are stolen and they're eaten by the Shen. And in the meantime, Showmaker doing his best as Peanut. Yeah, they're at least not window shopping as Shiu's going to move up, and now maybe Peanut going to be in trouble as there's a slicing maelstrom, but remember, this is AD cannon, so that doesn't do a lot of the damage. Sidesteps the spear.
Okay, Shiu playing with fire there a little bit. He got the stun on Zeka with the E there, but if he gets CC'd and just dies, that would have been a very tragic situation, as they know.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they can get to this wave, and HANWHA Life really doing a wonderful job. Are going to finally get access here. The problem is taunt, right? Like, yeah. You do have to be respectful of that. Barrel doing a great job of safeguarding. I can't believe there's been no first blood. And this is one of the games where I think HANWHA Life really want to fish for that. HANWHA Life, to me, are the comp that have a bigger expiration date this time around, mostly because of the Victor. And I think you can argue that neither comp skill's great. As well, is in
Delight is going to find that handshake. There's the exhaust as well as the Infernal Chains. That's going to get the flash.
Yeah.
And so now HLE going to be able to go back, and they're going to say, all right, well, that's a exhaust for flash trade.
But due to the constant swapping, and due to the fact that Zeus has been going for these plays, she was actually in a good spot in the 1v1. Like, he's up a good amount of CS. Experience, not so much. But should be better once he catches this wave that's now crashing in topside. The real problem is obviously bot lane, where Barrel has done great, Aiming, not so much.
They have bought enough time for Lucid hit level 6, though.
Yeah,
so that paranoia going to be a big deal. That was a large thing that DK were looking for, kind of out of the woods as far as that is concerned. So 600 gold the lead. Maybe that's worth it. Maybe that's a price you're willing to pay to get Lucid safely to that paranoia point. It's just about what happens when he does press that R button for the first time, as Delight is looking to be very polite to Showmaker. He actually decides not to throw out the handshake first, which is generally the first thing you do in the greeting. As Peanut comes on over to clear a red buff, and he's going to successfully do so as Lucid takes his blue. So here on the bottom side of the map, Zeus not going to be spooked. No paranoias to come on through.
Yeah, and much like game number 1, we are going to have a pretty good idea of how DK's game is going to go the moment that we see what I imagine will be a double investment of Lucid and Barrel Ults, right? Like, that's the dream combo. Because Viper is fed right now. And, Lucid, gotta be careful. But Viper is very big right now. He also has a Renata, which I do think is actually one of the biggest tools that you can have, because between Clans, Renata, Bailout, and Ult, there is a incredible amount of safety that you can buy as...
Stand United Silas is pretty silly.
Yeah, it really is. Showmaker also not having the flash is a big deal as well. This top lane turret damage really sticking thanks to Viper, Delight, and even Zeus and Peanut for that earlier play.
Yep, here's the only sort of moment of good stuff, as she does still have about a 20 CS advantage, as we are having a look at where that arrow was flying through.
Force the flash, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. That
was a close one, but that's some hitbox stuff right there. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and also if he doesn't, like if it does hit him and then Zeka gets a kill, Showmaker's actually doing great in the 1v1 thus far, right? He got the plate earlier.
Yep.
Zeka hasn't gotten a kill in his roam. And also with Victor, I think you just naturally want to try and get to the late game. Is she a little dicey there, but does get out of the chains, and Zeus' ult not going to hit the mark.
Yep. Too bad there. So Showmaker continuing to just throw abilities into Zeker as best he can, and Kingslayer is going to make sure that Zeker is going to be kind of okay. So he does have his dash cannon incoming. Peanut is looking for 6 grubs and should be able to get them as well. So DK, I think they're going to lose the first turret feat of strength. And that might be in fact happening on this wave right here, as that final grub does go down. 6 now in the back pocket of HLE as Peanut looks to try and help them out, taking down this structure. Barrel aiming, I don't think it's going to work as aiming gets tagged by the spear. And at 50% health, I just don't know what he's going to be able to get done. Does have the cleanse and flash now back available. The enchanted crystal arrow is there, and this turret is on its last legs. So that is going to be that first feat of strength going down. HLE also, with those 2 sets of grubs that they picked up, are only 1 objective away from locking it up and grabbing some cool new shoes. And DK, they might be able to grab their second frag. So that is sort of their win condition.
They would have loved to get the grubs, though. With, that cannon in particular.
And denying the grubs, also a big deal when you've got both a Silas and an Aatrox that are pretty happy sitting in a side lane, and, you know, arrows to augment and things like that. As another one. Okay, Ox, this is starting to get a little bit suspicious.
We got, what, we got 1 Ocean and the rest were all Camtech?
Yeah.
Was it free Camtech?
Yeah, see, look, not paying attention.
Wow.
Not paying attention, guys.
Even as of right now.
Yep. Wow. Caught live on camera.
So glad Jason is holding him accountable.
She really is. She, in fact, doesn't let anyone get away with anything, as it turns out.
Which, you know...
Which we appreciate to no end.
It's also necessary. I'm not gonna lie. There's right now, we do have... I think Camtech looking at either of these teams. Obviously, HANWHA Life, my god. That is a team that would love it. Between the Nidalee heals, the sustain for both the Aatrox and the Silas, even the Renata, get a ton of value out of that. For DK, it's fine. I don't think it's groundbreaking by any means, but they are already up 2 Drakes, so it does buy them a good amount of freedom in the macro department. They don't need to contest every dragon. What they do need to do is ensure that Viper doesn't get like 15 plates. Now he only has a minute, so 15 is, you know, that's hyperbole, but...
And there's 5 in the mid lane. So, yeah, it might be tough.
And this is the problem for DK, is that what you want to do is you want to use your globals to generate an advantage. But
Ooh, okay.
Oh, he's going to ult the wave.
Yeah, just going to try and clear that one up. Lucid going to move on down. And it is still just going to be a lot of damage onto this turret. Showmaker, though, is in that top lane. And will at least get a teleport.
Yeah, so the core issue is that you want to try and make a play, but because you don't have prio, you never have vision. And because you don't have vision, if you Lucid and Barrel go in on someone, and there are reinforcements waiting in wings.
Oh, flash in from Barrel. They look for Peanut, who might have been overextended, but the hostile takeover is there. Lands onto 3. First blood goes to Peanut to secure another kill for HLE. And first, it's just crazy that it's this late into the game, and then all of a sudden it's feats of strength. HLE kill 3 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. The problem is that because you don't have vision, and HANWHA Life do, they kind of get to decide whether or not they open themselves up. As we take a look here...
Would you say this is a decent Renata angle?
Yes, very much so. As a Delight, look at that. Freeman ultimate. And we don't even need the bailout for Peanut.
Yep.
That's the craziest part. He still has the opportunity to give the Viper, which means that bot lane dive completely without risk. It's also a whiff on the first ultimate for Nocturne. And guess what, Atlas? You know what this is looking good for?
A game 5.
Yeah.
Which does mean that your I'm really sorry about your prediction, Chronicler, if that is indeed what happens. But still, 4,000 gold. And so therefore, there's still hope. There's still hope.
Oh, yeah.
Chin up, chin up.
I'm completely fine. The problem is that in a situation like that, if you say you're completely fine, you just sound...
I know. It's actually very unfair. It's very unfair.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
Man, we are really coming across as big bullies, aren't we?
No, you're not. It's
not our fault you love predictions this much.
As we take a look at the gold graph here, do see that... actually, the gold up until like 15 minutes in most of these games, or 15-20 minutes, have stayed relatively even. I think this is the biggest early lead that we've seen.
I don't
even
think,
in the game that HANWHA Life won,
felt more one-sided. Yeah,
it was more of a draft and a draft. Yeah, this is the problem. Now you're playing Nocturne and Shen from behind. Like playing a global comp from behind just feels horrible. I think Lucid just not sure what caused the flash, but.
He did use it. It is now.
No, I think it might. So it might be one of those things where, because the cooldown is way faster, so it just reset the.
So it looks
there you go.
Confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think he got arrowed. As a HANWHA Life just kind of takes everything. Peanut is farming up a storm, got an early kill, and getting a tons of plates. And for DK, it really is going to be reliant on finding backline axes without Renata being there. That's kind of your win con, right? Like Showmaker eventually will do a lot of damage in team fights, but that is legitimately 30 minutes away. And realistically, you can stall for like 15 minutes by not going for any dragons.
And they do have that buffer. So there's that.
As Barrel...
Oh, okay. Zeka is just going to find him as he makes his way in. The Shadow Dash taunt does come on through, and the arrow is so gorgeously placed from Viper. Handshake just to set it up, and cool guys like Delight do not look at explosions as Barrel is going to go down yet again. The Mega Blast Cone will bring HLE over towards their prize in the form of this dragon. And DK just have to look on and watch as that objective is taken down. HLE, cool, calm, and collected here in Game 4. And DK, I think they're going to have to order another one of those miracle plays. They've had a few of them, and Lucid is now just going to look for a steal, and he gets it. There's a spell shield at the same time. He's really dead, guys, but he got what he came for, and that was the Chemtech Drake and Soul Point for DK.
You know who would also make that play is Peanut. Like, and if there's ever a journalist like, guys, I'm going to send it and die.
Well, Barrel's also going to find a taunt onto Peanut.
Renata is nearby. Good call.
So Shelly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone's getting very angry. And Peanut, like you say, those spears really do hurt. Barrel is... Yeah, he is dead. Zeus going to flash for it. Picks it up with the third Q. Really nicely done. Zeka finds a slicing Maelstrom.
All right, I got the game plan for DK.
All right, what is it?
Do nothing for 15... No, sorry, now it's 20 minutes.
What about do nothing for 4 minutes and then Lucid? Oh, okay. Shiu's going to look for some stuns onto Zeka here as Aiming, trying to lay down the DPS. Shiu is dead, and Aiming doesn't do the DPS.
Barrel even ulted, trying to keep Shiu alive and extend the play.
I think it saved Barrel's life that Shiu died.
Yeah, I do think DK are having a difficulty with the
arrow,
not actually doing anything.
Yeah, it's a nice spell shield there from Lucid. He could have just been straight up dead with the damage that we've seen from some of these spears. Zeka looking for a chain lash, and that is a dead in a turret.
Now, I don't think it's a good plan, but I do think it's your only plan. Because, yeah, we're behind 7k gold.
All right, we're going to check this one out. Getting some good news for DK here. Hey, nails it. And look at him, he's so excited. And he's already taken his hands off the keyboard.
That was a lot of, yeah, of course. That was a lot of damage as well, actually. Because I think it was like Stride Breaker, Q, passive, and Smite. Because it went down from like 1300. Yeah, it was actually very, very cleanly done. And here, yeah, even with the ults coming in from Barrel, they're just so far behind. They're just not going to stay alive for long enough.
Look at the lead that Peanut has. It is pretty ridiculous. He's ahead of his top laner by 25 CS.
Yeah. And you know, we often talk about, well, Nidalee doesn't matter, right? When you're this far ahead.
Well, this is the scaling you get from Nidalee, and that is making sure that your opposition is really far behind. As Zeka could be in trouble here, so he has to flash away. Aiming is flashing for it. Yeah, they're looking for the opportunity. The death rate not enough, and the heal. This is what Peanut does, by the way, better than any other Nidalee.
Oh no!
And that is play Soraka. As aiming, he's gonna get punished for the sins here, the over-aggression, and he's put down by Zeus's famous Aatrox. Oh dear, DK just cannot find an avenue in. It's 8-0. It is, and it's close to a 10,000 gold lead already.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Yeah, Archon's gone. I can't believe that that's Aiming's first death. It felt like there's been a lot more.
Yeah. I also just can't believe that Peanut has been this consistently clean on Nidalee all year. As the arrow. I do like it. You know, we didn't have much more to watch because the Archon was just being taken for free.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah. The real question now becomes for DK, can they hold on to their inhibitors? Because if they can, then that's like the one angle. I also think that going for this play makes sense. It looks like Zach has overextended, and then crucially, he would have died if not for that heal from Peanut. And then the collapse comes through nicely. Zeus is there, very happy to pick himself up a free Corgi. And a free Corgi. Yeah. He takes out Aiming.
And that's another Infernal Chain, going to pull back Barrel once again. Zeus is just really cleaning people up with that ability. And now that they have the Archon buff, they can do whatever they would like. HLE's turn to have a good time. And we need to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we do get some silver scrapes after this, but HLE are a team that are so extraordinarily good at Game 5. They have Zeka, they have Viper. Zeka, just like, when was the last time he lost a Game 5? It was what feels like a billion years ago, or maybe never. I, for one, would love another Game 5 between Viper, Showmaker, and Barrel. You know, narratively, that sounds like a hit to me, Atlas. There was the stat that we actually had about, you know, Zeka in Game 5s, and it was pretty silly. No, since 2022, he just has not lost one. Is what I'm pretty sure it is. We'll have confirmation if I am wrong. And he played a lot of them. He did. In fact, all the way. I wonder what the scoreline is for Viper on that one as well, because I believe there might have been a few hiccups here and there, but since 2021, he's been pretty good at 5 gamers as well. And for DK, they lost both their final year, you know, tournament runs with MSI. As well as Worlds to 5th games, RNG and EDG respectively. Yep. As this Dragon, I don't think is going to be contested. Yep. And yeah, Zeka hasn't lost one since 2022. So pretty good at it. Still hasn't got there just yet, as Paranoia has been used by someone. And yeah, it's in fact Zeka who is now just going to dive on top of Beryl, and Beryl is going to taunt him over, aiming really undecided as to whether he wants to do this again, and he says no, I prefer not to, as Lucid is going to block the hijack. Very nicely done with the spell shield. No Paranoia for you this time around. No, he already... Oh, was that a chain? Never mind. Yeah, it looks confusingly similar. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because that's how he got out. He paranoid. Yeah, he had to, and then that would have definitely been on cooldown, Chronically. You're exactly right. That's fine. You're good. That's why we keep you around. That and the excellent predictions. It's been a long and messy series.
As DK is really holding on to the just kind of do nothing and hope that them not getting soul for long enough will matter. There's one crucial step that still needs to be done, which is Lucid needs to steal Baron. Because I do think when they take Baron, you do kind of auto lose the game. And might auto lose the game beforehand if HANWHA go for a big fight here.
He could also steal an Elder in 20 or so minutes.
Yeah, but at that point,
that
the gold league doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
So if you get there, I think you're feeling peachy. What we're trying to say, in roundabout ways, that this game is not looking good for DK, but it's looking great for a game 5.
It certainly is.
It's such a textbook early game from HANWHA Live, right? Like bot side prio, combined with Peanuts early pressure.
They're doing their best as that's a two-man taunt. Okay, the kitchen sink being thrown at HLE. The last-ditch effort from DK. They're able to take down the support. But Zeus gets into that backline, disrupts what DK were trying to do, and Viper just wanders away. So that's what they're going to get for it.
Can I tell you a tale of a Nidalee?
Yes.
That was up 10k gold.
Can I tell you a tale of a Corgi that was very cute and got a flash out of an Aatrox?
Yeah, that's happening right now. But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I am. I remember there was another quadruped in that game, wasn't there? His name was Hecarim or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
This was the Baldless incident.
Yeah, there may have been a
that was a 10k gold lead for a Nidalee as Barrel finds the taunt here, and Renata is the biggest issue for this team. There is still a lot of upfront burst available and a lot of single target damage at least. So taking Renata out of the equation is enough. Still.
Are we making bets? It's your turn.
I don't want to cut off my hair. I want to grow it out.
Yeah, but like that's the whole point. I wanted to grow mine out, and then I made the bet because I was confident. That was very silly.
Atlas, I can't do it. We need to find something else.
Oh well, you're being asked whether you can do it.
Atlas, I'm going on a honeymoon next year or next month. I can't cut off my hair.
Okay. I'll do it for tomorrow.
Okay, if I can postpone it till after that.
No.
Well, okay, then we're not doing it. What do you mean, no? That's your option.
You're not allowed to postpone. Well, actually, and I think I postponed mine.
You did
as well. Okay, well, as that time, he's able to steal it away. That was nicely done. Zeka going to have his hijack now on cooldown. Let's see whether DK
Barrel doesn't have flash this time around.
Can defend yet again. This time towards the top side of the map. The volleys are just doing a lot of damage. There's Viper with 3 items.
You know, that's something. Okay, so now comes step 2 of the plan. Look, they know! They have 4 scryers! They're aware!
We do not want to allow Lucid to get in. And Lucid going to get tagged by about a million things, but that spell shield was on the right one. As Spirit's Refuge goes down, doesn't exactly do that much, as aiming is almost just dead to Viper, who is just raining these auto attacks down onto DK. Redemption there to keep them in the fight even longer. And they are going to break the flow. They're going to take down this inhibitor turret. Yeah, the bottom lane's also under fire, as Zeus was getting to work down there as well. Shiu just struggling to hold on.
It's good, just don't flip it.
Yeah.
Just don't give them the opportunity. Just take them down. Now 2 inhibs are down. They're going to have to deal with these side waves. You are so far ahead. You can just overload bot.
It was so smart as well from HLE, because it felt out of turn, you know? It felt like the ebb and flow of the game was not the time that HLE were going to be moving up. And they surprised DK by getting in there. Beryl with a slight opportunity here to try and get some vision in as he's clearing out these wards on the way towards the Baron.
I honestly, just 5-man bot. You can pick up the dragon, obviously, on the way there.
Man, can you feel it?
No. You mean game 5 or you mean the turn?
I mean the turn.
No, but I think that's the point of a good turn, is that you come. It's like, you know, when you recommend your buddy a movie and you're like, man, this movie, insane plot twist. You'd never do that. You never do that, Atlas. You can't do that. That ruins the movie. You need to make sure that they don't know there's a plot twist.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I
was about to like talk about plot twists, but I just feel like that would be completely against exactly what you were saying.
Yeah. So in this scenario, I don't think there will be a plot twist. And if it is, it will blow my mind.
So you're saying there's not going to be a plot twist, but if there is, it's a plot twist. And that's the whole point of a plot twist.
Yes.
Nailed it. I'm right on board.
If you see comment, it's not a twist.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's just a part of the story.
Yeah, it's just a narrative point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Baron is also a point on the map here towards the northern side.
Right, we have enough scryers.
The question is, do we have a torpedo called Nocturne?
They don't have more Shriers.
Well, Beryl is looking to try and get into the pit.
They're not flipping! You'll love to see it.
Yep, they get off. There's the arrow. It's going to connect, and the Shen is just dead. The takedown, named correctly here by Peanut. And that is one. It is not the jungler. And now DK, they need somebody else to face check. They're running out of abilities to check this Baron pit. Zeka, yep, he was just checking it out.
Look at the storytelling as well from our observers. They don't know where Lucid is right now.
And it looks like DK, they understand that there is no way they can fight for this. Game will be over if they try to take that Baron. So instead, they look to try and push out these waves by as much time as they possibly can. The problem is, there's only 3 turrets left on the map here for DK, and with these Baroned up minions, I don't know whether they're going to be able to defend for long.
So Beryl needs to hit a Flash Taunt on both the Light and Viper. No, actually Viper's cleanse.
But he still needs to hit it on Viper. Yeah. They still need to get the cleanse.
Yeah, true. As we take this is inevitable for DK. And I do, again, I want to give credit to HANWHA Live. And this is something that Peanut teams have been exceptional at themselves, is playing to the outs, right? So they deny the only out. They're very patient. They're not going to run the risk of a flip, even with how unlikely it is. Not going to get loose, get exit to the pit. It goes out to 7-8K. We back off.
And Peanut was the guy that was there that made sure I lost my hair as well, right? Like this
was him.
He's the man that stays with his head in the game.
It was, what was it? He was a Maokai, right? It was like Nidalee into Maokai.
I can't remember what Peanut was playing, actually.
Yeah. I know Kenya was playing Nidalee.
Oh no, Peanut was playing Hecarim. Peanut was playing Hecarim in that game.
I mean, you would remember better than I would.
I'm pretty sure it was a weird Hecarim angle. Okay, we're gonna pull the trigger as Lucid dives in, looks for the fear now as they get forward. There's one of those taunts you were looking for. The Viper gets bailed out, never mind. They managed to secure the kill. The problem is there are more carries left over. Zeus doing what he can.
Oh, look at
as this Hailstorm is gigantic. Zeus, can he do it? He finds one, but Zeka is looking to finish the game. The teleport to get on top, but Zeka is looking to take down the Nexus. Showmaker, can you kill him in time? He's so incredibly tanky. It's down halfway, and there's the flash over. And now he's looking to try and take down Showmaker as well, as there's the final hit, and Silver Scrapes is queued up by Zeka with the backdoor.